Hey folks, we're live, and thank goodness it looks like the stream is actually working tonight, to the shock and delight of everyone involved. Okay, let's get this up. The sound is going to cut in and out repeatedly while I do the thing that I'm doing tonight, but we should be okay. Move the window enough that I can see chat. Is that going to screw up anything on the OBS window? No, it's gonna be okay. All right, folks, it's Tunic time, but not normal fun Tunic where we do good stuff. This is language Tunic time. It's language Tunic time. Today we are going to talk about the language of Tunic for a while, and then when that's done, we'll actually play the game. But first, we are going to get all the energy that I put into translating this language, we're going to talk about. And it's going to be so exciting for everybody. Let me get a tweet out about the stream. Here we go. Let's do some language lessons in Tunic. Dorks. There we go. And now let's go ahead and get that on. Go to the old clipboard and paste in. And there we go. We are live and we're on Twitter. Okay. So let's continue the game. I am kind of nowhere because I had to run around a little bit to find good spots to learn the translation stuff. So the game is running. Is the game running okay? Game's running fine. Once I'm actually seriously playing, I'm in windowed mode right now so that I can see my my GIMP window. But let's go right back to the very beginning of the manual. And then we're going to talk about the language in Tunic. Isn't that exciting for everybody? And the music's going to, I think, cut out. Damn it, Cookie. Cookie just jumped off my lap, and every time she jumps off my lap, she somehow manages to catch the microphone cords. So, I have a GIMP window open, into which I'm going to have to do a little bit of dickery with frames. So, or with layers, rather. So, let's do this thing. What is the correct tool? You're the correct tool. Okay. Hey! Yes, okay, fine. It's rating with a party of 4. Hey, puppy. Okay. So let's start with the straight. Oh, that's the... I don't need the color picker right now. I need... Oh, I did a color picker, and see, this is my GIMP tutorial. This is teaching you all the coolest GIMP techniques. Everybody loves GIMP techniques. Will, puppy having a bad day. Can Will make joke? Puppy, I'm very sorry you're having a bad day. I do regret to inform you that this is going to be a longish stream in which I describe how to translate a made-up ass language in a video game. Yeah, bad days, yes. Okay, if I ship some Haribo roulettes, would there be another Choose Your Illusion? I mean, Jack, I tried to get one going this weekend, but Gary was out of it. I mean, he was in good spirits, and we talked about Better Call Saul a lot, but he was not necessarily feeling the candy. Oh, I'm glad you liked it, puppy. I wasn't sure how people would how that would hit for people. So then I'm glad people enjoyed it. What everything to gum? God damn it! Everything to gummy. Ah, god damn it. Yeah, the abject suffering, the Zoop one is fine. I think I ran out of steam a little bit on the second one we did, so apologies in advance if I sound dumb on that one. But, new layer, transparency, and that'll be this shape. And then new layer, transparency, that'll be this shape. Is that looking okay on the OBS? Boy, it's not great. I gotta get a thinner font here. I'm using a tiny version of GIMP right now. So, give me my like context-dependent toolbox here, please. Maybe I don't need to mess with this. Maybe we'll just. I had this idea that I would draw out some of the language. We can try it. We'll try it. It's a little scrunchy in there. Does ran out of steam mean I didn't press coal into a verbal corner? No, I did press him into a verbal corner and it just wasn't as fun as you might hope. So if I do, let's see, what's the button to make that? It's just just stretching things for fun, you know? Just stretching things for fun. Having a fun time stretching things. Okay. I don't know if this part of my idea is going to work. I meant to get this more refined before I started. But, stretch. Let's delete these layers and start again. And somehow in GIMP, which is not anything weird, it's just the name of the program I use for, instead of Photoshop, there's a way for me to change the size of my font. And also to make it draw straight lines, which would just be great. GIMP good. I love GIMP, mostly. So, there we go. There we go. There's the tool options. Hello, tool options. Thank you. Okay, so let's size you down. Hi, Jabrader. Let's get that size, like, nice down to 1, I guess. And what does that look like? If I do, see, that's too small. How about you? Oh, that one, that's far too big. And then I undeleted the thing I was doing. So everything's a mess. GIMP is kind of user-unfriendly. I've been using it for, I don't know, 15 years now, and I'm still not very good with it. So what if I gave it a 1.5? How's that going to look? Perfect. Okay. So everything in Tunic has this middle line, except when the game is getting very stylized with its language, when it wants to do something pretty. Okay. This size is too big. This size is too small. I think that size is just right. Is it weird that choose your illusions one of your more listenable bits? I don't think that can be true, given I really tried to put, like, especially in that one I recorded, like yesterday, I really tried to put some really bad sounds in this one, in that one. So I don't necessarily believe, don't eat too many of the sugar-free bears. I'm so afraid of the sugar-free bears that I've never messed with them. Okay, so I'm playing with layers right now and I'm freehanding it, so, sorry. It's really not up there. Fair enough. That is completely fair. Okay, and then you, and then new layer. I do have it kind of stretchy, which actually looks kind of better on here, so. I mean, yeah, Everything to Guppy is often a challenging show, by design. Where I tore my headset off in disgust. Yeah, those were mostly things Gary said, though. Not stuff Will said. Okay. New layers. Going to continue building out the outer frame. I don't actually need the right two here because you don't actually use those in Tunic language nicely. If something has a line there, it's just part of the next sound. You know, there was definitely some stuff in the best of that was really challenging, I think. New layer. This is how we play a video game. By drawing lines in GIMP. That was not a good line. Also not a good line. Come on, Will. Perfect line. Very good. Extremely good. Okay. So let me rename these layers to what they will be useful for me. Is there a way to name layers? There's absolutely a way to name layers. Superclock? Really, Gary? God damn, I'm so mad at Superclock. There we go. Okay. So I'm doing this in layers so that I can turn on and off different stuff. You can hold shift to draw straight. I thought so too, but I'll try it when I'm doing the interiors. Of course, naming these is also stupid, but I don't know if this will be in any way, shape, or form entertaining. What do you know about going straight? Yes, okay, fine. Wow, hostile. A hostile energy from Jabrader tonight. Okay, and now new layer. I mean, not that there's anything. I don't know. That's all I know, yeah. I don't know what orientation anybody is, and that's... Oh, so that happens. See, if I click the spot and then go up, okay. New layer. And then click U, and it should just go right from there. I don't think sex is real. I don't want anybody to be anything. New layer, okay. Not perfect looking or anything, but it's getting along. Okay, Will found something worse than Fuser. Yeah, no, this is bad. This is fake language tutorials. Okay, I still need one that goes up from... This one's not going to look great. Okay. Fuser is brain poison. Yeah, I mean, at least you can, like, listen to this without it becoming hell music. 1 second while I drink some water after all this hard work I'm doing. So I want to be clear that after the last stream, I spent days figuring this shit out. Just an unconscionable amount of time. Pouring over this several nights. Sorry, Will, can you take that again? Are the cube bits letters? It's more complicated than that. Yes, okay, fine. We'll get into it as soon as I'm done. I really wish I had set this up beforehand, but I just ran out of time today. I was doing work. But we are almost done. We are almost finished doing the symbols. So they're quantum. They're the these are the fabled quantum of solace that we are always hearing about from that man James Bond. And I can't. Got to make a new layer. Got to remember to make a new layer. New layer. So the idea is I'm going to be able to turn on and off all of these as I go. I don't want it up that high. That's angled. Y'all are just watching me very much struggle to draw straight lines with a tool designed to help it make it easy for me to draw straight lines. Good enough. Jesus Christ. Hey, Eggs, tell Will about that funny joke Jabrader make. It was like, knock, knock. I can't wait to hear this. I love jokes. I like comedy a lot. So I'm excited to hear this joke. Well, can I help? Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign are large parts of my job. I mean, if it's not GIMP, it just don't do nothing for me. I'm sorry, puppy. This is a GIMP household. I'm just doing my layers one by one. Joe was watching Totally Accurate Battle Sim, and a king was being healed by a healer. Uh-huh. No, so far, this sounds riveting. Or as Kermit the Frog would say, ribbiting. Oh, Santa, sad. Okay, is that it? There's not like an up from the down, is there? Yeah, that's it. Okay. That's it. That's our full palette. He's the king of Athens. God. As if the king of Theseus is the same king after they get all their HP refilled. That's funny. That's like the ship of Theseus joke. Are you familiar with that, Gibrator? It's like the king. The ship of Theseus. So that's kind of the joke you were making? It's going to be bottom right and bottom left. Okay, everybody. Let's talk about the language in Tunic, whatever the fuck this game is called. Now we'll have the music back. Oh, one important thing. Turns out if you hit A on the manual, you can zoom the manual. Okay. So, the manual is obviously going to be our biggest thing to translating this thing. For a minute, I thought that this would be helpful because presumably... Hey, Neil. Presumably, this would be spelling out north, south, east, and west. But it turns out these are abbreviations designed to just fuck with you. So they are not very helpful for those purposes. They say, God, it's been a second since I read this. They say, weh. That first one says weh. Oh God. See, I've already forgotten how to read. Oh, it says os, is, sor, or no, psi. So what that one is? Psi. And nor. Will, why don't you speak Q better? Because it's again, what I really should have done is played it last night and gotten myself refreshed. It's been a couple days since I did my very deep dive on this. Okay, so I'm gonna try to walk you through the process. So if you remember on the last stream, we ended up spending like half an hour poring over this, trying to find some rhyme or reason for this stuff. As I believe Yes Okay Fine pointed out, that some of the Cubicons would be so upset hearing you mangle their beautiful, beautiful language. That the control screen would be a very helpful place for us to start because, among other things, I know what left stick does. Left stick moves me. So presumably that's the word for move. Somehow. A really useful page for those purposes is this one, let's see, this one, because it presumably has the words roll and run on it, since one of these is describing how to roll and one of them is describing how to run. So, the first thing I did, no, you're good, Gibrator, is what you always do when you're dealing with cryptography shit, is you look for small repeated instances. And that gave us a couple words to start. The most basic of which... there's a couple very basic ones. The most basic of which, you can see right here in the middle of the description for the stick, chomp, is just that caret going upwards. So presumably... Since that is only, at most, it's only 3 lines, so it really has to be A or I. Until you zoomed in, I just thought it was in Japanese. Okay, I'll try to keep it as zoomed in as I can. I can't move between pages when zoomed in, so. Okay, so obviously that one is... Music's gonna go away. Does the screen go away when I do this on the OBS? No, it stays. Okay, good. Chomped. Oh, I marked down one of these wrong. Okay. Let me fix that real fast. Right, so we just have this, right? There was that one, and then there's a, yeah, another very common one is in the middle of magic items right here. That is, that looks like, oh, that's the wrong thing to hit. Okay. That's this double arrow thing. So there's somewhere you can type the language into so it translates it for you. It's actually, it's a very tricky, you just have to learn to read it. And we'll get into why that is in a second. It's kind of tricky to try to... So we have this word here. And this word, I figured, like, had to be the. This thing actually requires quite a bit of learning. I apologize. So that word has to be the from the ways it shows up in a couple different spots. Now, how the hell that makes the sound the took me a long time to figure out. I'm going to have to zoom out for a second. One of the very key things to figure out, so, like, obviously, like, there's enough English in here that a lot of times you can guess stuff. This page is actually very useful. This is the hints page. For one thing, it just has a straight-up explanation for how something works, although it's a little weird. But it also just has a lot of things that are phrased in ways you can kind of read. So, for instance, this is Oh, God. See, it's going to be slow every time I translate, because it's been a minute. So this is on... Whew. I'll translate it later. Like I said, I'm out of something. I'm out of practice. But this has bits that are telling you that you need to do things. So, like... This says, where are the keys? Which we can kind of infer, right? Because it just told us you need to find the keys, and then it has the symbol again. So you need to find the keys. And then that first word there is... that means that the answer to that question is probably going to start with the word you, right? So you, which looks like... What do I have to add there? Left angle... Bottom mid. This is so awkward to do, but it does meet R. It does mean R, yes. And then left, nope. I described these poorly as well. Top left. There we go. Left upper frame is what I called that. Okay. And then bottom left, turn off, need you. This is so awkward and dumb, but I put in the time for it, so I might as well. You and you're a frame one. There we go. That's the word you. Yay! Okay, so basically, I figured out some of these words. A key thing that I figured out is you and to. So this is what you looks like. And then this is what, and I can do this one from memory. This one is what, maybe I can do this from memory. Hard to remember what I called stuff, basically. Top, middle, upper. That's two. I should jump ahead because I am talking myself in circles a little bit. So, I had this kind of planned out in my head, and now it's kind of, I'm mumbling it, and I apologize. Okay, let's get back to something that helped me a lot, which is you can work out from context clues that the little blue part here says roll. So that's the other thing I noticed is that you often have simpler symbols at the ends of words. Because, like you can see at the end of the word here, we have that simple Y symbol. At the end of roll, we have that simple L symbol. And if you kind of squint your eyes and kind of cut, this thing's kind of like cursive. So you can see this has a simple symbol at the end for the in sound at the end of run. God, I wish I was explaining this better. The takeaway for all this is that this is a phonetic language, is one of the things that I realized fairly early on because of that to versus you thing. So, in our language, to and you are written differently, right? We use different vowels to make what is the same vowel sound. But in Tunic language, we are using the same symbols to represent the vowel sound. And that's where we get into the other part. Let's look at the difference between roll and run for a second. So, presumably the first symbol of that is somehow trying to tell me ruh or row in this case. Whereas the second symbol is trying to convey an R sound. So there is something in there that is just the R sound. And this is where, yes, okay, fine. This is where what you figured out about the cubes last time was incredibly important. The reason that I'm drawing the frame the way I'm drawing it with all of these letters together is that the entire frame is one sound. Or it's actually a combination of sounds, but it's like Japanese katakana and a couple other like phonetic alphabets where a consonant and a vowel together make the symbol. And Olivia helped me realize that. It's typically one syllable, yes. It's one syllable. Sometimes you have one syllable spread out over two symbols sometimes because of how this language handles the letter R. It handles it weirdly. But for the most part, yeah, one syllable per cube. Yes, that's correct. So the other thing that the cube revelation helped me with is that I was actually in the shower and I was just still thinking about this because that's how my brain works. I realized that all of the letters that ended words, so like the L here, those two lines, and the N here, and the T, which is what you can see the kind of Y symbol there, is the T. I realized that all of them only used the interior of the crystal frame. So we have basically sort of two different alphabets going on here. We have one that relates to the bottom, to the frame, and one that relates only to the consonants. So this was the one that relates only to the consonants. And then we have the one that relates only to the frame. One of those offbeat contemporary college electives. Yeah. So, every sound in this language is made by taking the frame to figure out what the vowels, taking the interior to figure out what the consonant is, and then taking the frame to figure out what the vowel sound is. And from there, it seems complicated. You can actually, once you learn the symbols, you can read it somewhat fast. Again, it has it gets tricky with longer words. But once you get that first trick, yeah, it's not dissimilar to some of the ways Japanese works, I think. Olivia pointed that out. One little thing is, it took me a while to figure out what that little circle means. They give you a note about it. The top and bottom are parts of the same sounds. Yeah, it's all the same. Every cube is the one sound. So what this is trying to tell you is That circle so normally in this language, the vowel, it always goes consonant, vowel. If the circle is there, vowel, then consonant. So for instance, that's the consonant, the interior consonant symbol for M, and the vowel symbol for, let's see, Oops, turned off the background. The way this is written in the frame right now, this would be pronounced, let's see, that's the vowel sound for, that's one of the I sounds, is it? I think that's a hard I is the sound. I have it in here somewhere. Without the circle, that's pronounced my, but with the circle, it's I'm. So that's how the circle thing works. And from there, it's just a matter of like breaking shit down, and learning all of the symbols. It's tricky in a couple places because like the and sh and ch have their own symbols. They are not represented by any combination of C and H. There's two different symbols for the consonant S, depending on whether it's like the sibilant S or it's the treasure, the z with a little bit of Z on it. I'm trying to think if there's any. Oh, and if a frame has a broken line in it, and then its bottom right is there, then the vowel sound ends in an R. That's how you add an R into certain words. So that can be very tricky. So among other things, let's do a little quick translation right here. I'm going to do these one, and then there's the part where it's cursive, so that if two lines would flow into each other, they do. Like I said, it took me a couple nights of like really teasing this shit out. I just have a notebook in front of me with my translation notes. But it has a lot of symbols. What if it's opposite Tunic language day? Then puppy, the frame would create the consonants and the interior would make the vowels. And it's just that simple. And you would always have to put the circle if you wanted the consonant to come before the vowel. It's very simple, puppy, but thank you for asking. I appreciate you asking. Like they straight up give you the word for key in one of the intro things. If you look down here, it just straight up says, you will need a key, and then it has a key next to the word key. So that was very handy because that gave me what the hard E looks like. It's most of the frame filled out. But a lot of it was just realizing that like the phonetic thing was the biggest thing. Was like I think what actually clicked that for me was it was something silly. Was it in here? It's in this little thing. This says keep an eye. And I was like, if I'm translating this right, I think it says keep an eye, but I like the word. Or I like the letter. And then I was like, wait a second, maybe in this language, I and the I is in your head are spelled the same way, which they are because they're the same sound because it's a phonetic alphabet. Well, do you think you and Ryan Reynolds have a similar lovable antagonism? No, he's handsome. I'm too genuinely mean. Okay. So Ryan Reynolds loves himself. Yeah, there we go. So among other things, let's go ahead and translate what this says. Because it's key to understanding some weird shit about the actual lore of this game. So, the trickiest part about this language is figuring out where the letters start and stop. So in this case, I'll break this one down into symbols. I should actually, let's go ahead and add one more layer for the circle. Okay. Okay, so let's break this down. All right, so we've got the basic frame. So let's make this first letter here, which has both the top and the bottom mids of the consonant. So top, upper, middle, and bottom. Nope. I mean, yes, eventually, but bottom left, right, bottom left, bottom mid. There it is. Okay, so it's got both parts of that frame, and then right angle upwards, and the bottom mid. So there's the consonant sound. So I know from my translation notes that consonant is R, right? It's the same symbol that we see in run and roll. I add the frame onto that. So top right, top left, left bottom, left upper frame, and bottom left. And I already know that is the top and bottom pieces make a third cube. The top and bottom pieces make a third cube, pretty sure. I'm not sure what you mean, but I believe you. So here's our first symbol. So, 3D, yes, I believe you're right. The vowel, we already know that that's the vowel frame. That frame is the same as the frame that's around to and u. So this first syllable is ru. So let's move to the next symbol here. This game has a journal? What do you mean the game has a journal? It has a manual that you pick up as you go through the game. So let's, and this is a simpler... This is such a dumb way to do this, but it's working, kind of. So this is... frame-wise, this is bottom right and bottom left. I'll tell you right now that that's an I sound, a soft I. I. Left angle up, and then the two bottom angles. And there's the circle. So this would be Rooney. So that, because the consonant's the in consonant, and the vowel sound is the soft I sound. But we have the circle there. So instead, this is in. So, ruin. 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 So that's our first word, is ruin. I will get back to playing the game once I finish translating this word. This is basically all I had to say on this. I know it's a very silly use of everybody's time, and I hope it's okay. Let's see. This has the top, middle, upper, and the bottom part of it. And then frame-wise, this has these. Oh, this also has coming off of the top. Right, it's not okay, but continue. Okay. Forgot that one. And then on the bottom, we have both the bottom left and the left bottom, as I've so thoughtfully... If only there was some universal system of symbols used to represent sounds. I mean, this doesn't make any less sense than our current alphabet, probably. Okay. Oh, and then the bottom right frame. Okay, so that is the first sound of this word. I know that one, it looks like it has something coming off of it, but that's just the cursive thing. So this is our next sound to play with. This one's pretty straightforward. The consonant sound here is the S sound, and specifically the sibilant S. And the frame, you can see the frame is our hard E sound. So this is C. C. And, okay, and that just leaves us with one more symbol left to translate, which is this last set over here. Okay, so this has the bottom bottom mid, top mid. It has the full line there. It has the top, the right angle going upwards, and it has the bottom mid. Oh wait, no, sorry, I got distracted. It has the bottom right angle. This is the K sound. This is the symbol for K. Even kind of looks like a K. K. It also, of course, uses any hard C's also use this symbol because phonetic language. So this is hell. I know. It's going to be okay. And then if we look, it's actually kind of tricky to see, but the frame that we have over here is not you. Or yes, you. Is there, and then it wraps around to the bottom right. But it also has the top right. So guess what? This is one of our vowel sounds with a broken line as part of the frame. Because remember, because this right here is part of the frame. So that's going to have an R. I know. It's a. You have to sit down and translate yourself. You really do. You have to like put together. But I'm just kind of talking through how I am reading it. So this is ka, This is the frame is the sound. So our character is called Ruin Seeker. We are called the Ruin Seeker. The language is used throughout, like that language is, and then it says in parentheses, that's just you again. Ruin Seeker, you. Which ties into as much as I can grasp of the story. Oh, I clicked off. As much as I can grasp of the story of the game, which is, all right, I'm going to go into full screen mode and go into my, I'll go into the phone chat. Math makes perfect sense. You're wrong. Okay, so I'm going to switch over to the Twitch app and put this in full screen, and sadly we'll have to say goodbye to my incredibly beautiful language lessons. So give me 1 second. Stream won't stop or anything. It's just taking me a second because I have old dumb eyes. And I worked all day. And now I'm doing this. Get that Twitch open. Go to my channel. Eat a lot. Only, yeah, not a lot of people watching, huh? Can't believe not that many people are watching this incredible stream. This incredible. Will, did you write out all the sounds somewhere? I mean, yes. I have a page of consonants